Whatever you discuss today, we shall remember forever. Rub your hands, touch your eyeballs, touch your cheeks, and open a gentle smile. So, that is a 30-second meditation. It helps in increasing your concentration power. And see, we are doing managerial accounting too, and we have completed these things. I told you about financial accounting, cost accounting, management accounting, and we are doing management accounting. I told you the relation between cost accounting, management accounting, but you have to study more on it. I gave you the meaning of management accounting or managerial accounting, and I gave a beautiful definition also, very small definition of managerial accounting, but you can study more for the definitions. And I told you what are the key features of managerial accounting. It is concerned with decision making, it's future oriented, it's very much analytical in nature. You have to analyze a particular point and find the result. This management accounting, these are the key features of management accounting. It's for internal use, I told you it's for internal uses, and it is multidisciplinary approach is there, because different subjects are included in managerial accounting. Managerial accounting takes the input from different subjects. You have seen all those things. So, financial accounting, cost accounting, then statistics, then many other things. It comes the inputs. Everybody keep quiet. Everybody keep quiet. Keep quiet. I told you some examples of managerial accounting, like you make a sales budget, you make a cash budget, and see, I am going to teach you practically sales budget, cash budget, etc. Now, it is only starting. I have just made this PPT only to give you some idea what you are going to study, but these are also important for exam. There may be some question. Write some examples of some problems or decisions which are taken in managerial accounting. So, this way you can make a lot, even only 2-3. Suppose you want to purchase a particular product, or you shall hire it, make or buy, hire or buy. These are the thing. Make or buy. You may produce it, or you may buy it, or you may produce it. You can hire it. This stuff, lots of decisions are to be taken in the management. So, you have to go by calculation and show, yes, this should be purchased or this should be made. We can make it. So, these are the things. So, managerial accounting takes decision of different types of decision. What I will be teaching in these classes, these are only limited, but when you will be in the practice, you will find so many decisions taken every day in the management of the company, of a company. And managerial accounting is nothing but the same type of accounting which is presented in a different manner, so that decisions can be taken, whether to accept an export order at a lower price or not. Apparently, it may be lower price, but you directly cannot say accept, reject. You have to go for calculation. And I gave you one example of, and there was the main point was fixed cost, variable cost, like that. But I am going to give you a lot more, and this was a summary. I gave you the managerial accounting covers all aspects where accounting can help the management. See, managerial accounting, it covers all aspects which accounting can help in management. How? The main important thing is that since 1950 people used to think that management is a different thing and accounting is a different thing. This is the thing. Why you do accounting? For recording. Why recording? To check the correctness. What is the use of checking the correctness? So that fraud is not there, so that manipulation is not there, so that misappropriation of fund is not there. These are the objectives. And who will verify? Auditor. So, this is the only idea of accounting. You make accounting to check the transactions, to find out the profit or loss, to see the balance sheet position, asset, liability, that much. And who will verify? Auditor. So, that much of knowledge is one type of knowledge. This is limited knowledge. But in 1950, in that conference in USA, that I told you, that it was felt that accounting is very good, is a very huge source of information. But if it is not used in the management, then management may take wrong decision. You have seen that this question of exporting 1000 fans to Malaysia. You have seen that if you do not take into consideration that cost accounting, I told you, variable, etc., and take decision, so what decision you have, most of you rejected. So, you took a decision on what basis? On the basis of your intuition. Just I think it, I may think it. No. What you think should be backed by accounting information. That is management accounting. That is we are going to learn. Accounting is very important, everybody knows. Thousands years back, accounting was there, still accounting is there. It is good. but how can you use it for management, that is the most important thing. But I told you in few days back, not few days back, 2-3 years back, and I was invited in a Doordarshan of Northeast Doordarshan to have a talk something of management, etc. So, I think I shared you a small 2 minutes video, but it was a 35 minutes presentation. So, I was there, and they also told that it is only because government organizations do not use cost and management accounting, these government organizations are failing, like PSU, public sector undertakings are failing only because they are not using these types of techniques. I told it openly in the television also, and this is a fact, it is not what I am saying, it is a fact. Accounting has such power which can guide the management. So, that is the thing. In 1950 this subject came out, and scope of managerial, what are the things in managerial accounting? Planning, you do planning, you forecast in managerial accounting, you do not do in financial accounting, you do not make any planning in financial accounting, you do not go for any forecasting in financial accounting. Financial accounting is some such that whatever done you record it, finished, but do not look for future. But here you look for future, make a plan, and you control the cost here, you reduce the cost, because cost matters most. An organization is successful on the basis of how much cost conscious it is. And look, two accounts are put together, actually cost and management accounting is put together, because these are almost of same time. You will see cost accounting is also used in management accounting, but generally CMA, cost and management accountant, if you pass the examination of ICWA, you must have heard cost accounting, then your degree will be CMA, not MA only, CMA, cost and management accountant. Both are so integrated, both are important. So, in management accounting we think and find out the how we can control cost, how we can reduce cost, because cost matters most. When few years back, even now also maybe, that 50,000 is the cost of producing a motorcycle in India. At the same time it was produced by China at 22,000. It is happening. So, when other countries produce a lesser price, then that product will be sold all over the world, and if you are not cost efficient, your product will not be purchased by outside countries, not even your own countrymen will purchase it if it is too high, because the competition inside competition is that how low we can sell, because if sale price is high, people will not buy, isn't it? So, and sale price you cannot control. How you cannot control sale price? Sale price is determined, those who are from economic background, sale price is determined by the intersection of demand and supply. One is demand, one is supply, and on the intersection of demand and supply, some price is fixed in the market. You individually cannot do anything to control the price unless you are monopolist. Even if you are monopolist, you can charge whatever price you like, but whenever you are charging whatever price you like, there will be competition, some other people will come in. So, you can accept it that in the market you cannot control the price and cost. I told you yesterday, there is a lot of difference, price and cost, do not mix up. Price means at what you are selling, cost means at what you are producing, and price you cannot control, mostly you cannot control, cost you can control, cost is in your hand, you control cost, reduce cost, do whatever you like with cost. So, you be cost conscious, everything in home, in organization, in business, everywhere, and we are going to learn this cost controlling, cost reduction, etc. in this subject, how we can control cost, how. So, you become the more you study this thing, every time you become cost conscious, and I told you it helps in personality development also. Personality development also you will find that it is helping, you become cost conscious, waste nahi karega, no waste. So, this thing comes, everybody knows it, but when you study these things, will be more of that much of consciousness will be having it, and these types of conscious persons are expected to be in the management, other people are not expected. What happens in public sector undertaking means government undertaking, even people is not cost conscious, chalo sarkar ka paisa gaya, but you have to be too much of patriotism you should have, then you can save there also, and you have to save there also. Otherwise, what happens in public sector undertakings, people do not control the cost and there is loss, because they do not feel it, but go to private sector, work in a private company, then they will check you. They will not put any person, him or her, in the management, they will put only those people who knows these techniques, because these people are conscious about cost, they will not waste anything. Every type of wastage is a loss. So, we have to study lot of things here you will find. I will give in these 2 years or 1 year course or whatever may be, you will get some ideas basic, and then you can apply, you can study. So, it is decision making, always the decision is there. Whatever accounting you do, management accounting, then answer will be what decision, for what decision, this is the thing. For this decision do this, for that decision do this. It is not that do and leave it, no. Decision making always is there, and performance measurement. The most important thing is always related to performance of the organization, how organization performs. This performance budget is also there, different types of budget I will be telling you later on, and communication of information, this is also very important. The way you are making the account in management accounting, it should be easy language, understandable, so that the management can understand. You are not management, you are management accountant, right? You are management accountant. So, you are making the data presentation, and some people sitting in the management say board of directors, they will take the decision. So, this communication should be very easy, and this I will see, and this you have must do it, I will see, not today. I may not get time because I have a lot of things to discuss with you today. I will take your feedback also, and whenever I give some homework now, you keep and do. I will take and I will do justice. But sometimes the mood becomes different, not mood exactly, the course demands. So, today this demands most. Let us complete this. Today let us complete this cost classification, because from my this 10-15 minutes lecture you have found one idea that the most important thing in the management is cost, most important thing. You have to control cost, you have to manage cost, at every way you have to control cost. So, before you do that, you should have this idea. So, let us do it. Today one person please come, those one person who never came earlier, you never came earlier, please come, help me, please come, you will be helping me, and everybody please watch it. I will take up your questions, do not worry, I will take up your questions. At the top you write only classification of cost, at the top, in the middle, top, middle, yeah. Certain portion I have done that day, no. So, I will just write, but I will not spend time there, but new items are left out, I will clear that, then I will go to some other chapter. So, this cost classification, just to understand properly, and I will show this cost classification helps in so many chapters. This is a basic thing like rules of debit and credit, American approach helps in many other transactions. Similarly, this is a basic point. You please give 3 columns, 3, give a line, yeah, 3, 1 and beach may 1, yeah, and give one below classification of cost, one small line, underline this way, yeah, left to right, yes, now it looks, and you put in the box, put in the rectangular, yeah, then it will look fine, and everybody enjoy the way we are doing it, please full concentration, and it will be worth enjoying. And this concept, I am sure you shall everybody understand it properly, but understanding is a must. I know which chapter is a must, this is a must. Must for what? Must for understanding all other chapters. So, this is new, not new thing, you please element wise classification. Everybody may do once again, let the hand also move. Element wise classification, element wise classification. Then you write function wise classification, function wise classification. Everybody please write function wise, means according to function, and behavior wise classification, behavior wise classification, behavior wise classification, behavior wise classification. So, element wise classification you make again 2, 3, please make. Before I complete this now, I will not talk any other topic, or I will not entertain your questions. Let me first finish this one, it is very important, and then I will be again calm and quiet and listen to you. So, here 3 you can write material, all of you know it, and please write, I will give later on when you understand it properly, I will give it as a project also, I am telling you now, I will give you as a home project, this one. You draw and you explain and you give example that you will give for home assignment also. Material, labor, material labor and expenses. Material, labor and expenses. So, these are the three costs. Three costs are there: material, labor and expenses. And material you give two. Material there are two types of material. You give direct, indirect. Material you give direct, indirect. Everybody please watch it, please give concentration for some time, it is essential. Direct, indirect. Labor you give direct, indirect. Labor you give direct, indirect, and expenses you give direct, indirect. I will not take much time in this portion because I have already explained this portion, and please try to get the concept clear, and you can do anything in future on this with this conception. Okay. Before I go to function wise classification and behavior wise, I want to give you some more idea here, and I want to finish it off. This, all of you know what is direct material? Direct material is that material which is traceable in the ultimate product. Suppose cloth in your shirt, wood in the furniture, but there are some materials used which are not ultimately traceable. What I asked you, that how much lubricating oil is used in making the shirt. So, many people may be thinking that lubricating oil is not used in the shirt, but think properly, you will find it. So, ordinary people, you asked 1000 people how much lubricating oil is used, they will say it is an absurd question, because they are not cost conscious, they are not production conscious, they do not know the process of production. For that you are also advised, you know, I do not know what is here, but you do not need, because you are a mature student. What I am meaning, you are also advised to visit some factories, you are advised to visit some factory production houses and see how production is done. How production is done you can see, and because we are learning only from book, you go to the factory and see how it is done, then you will understand this classes better. So, direct material you have understood, similarly direct, indirect material you have understood. Direct labor, you see, suppose it is a bus driving, bus. So, in bus the driver is what? Direct labor, but the cleaner, indirect labor. Doctor is direct labor, doctor in hospital, and the person, the sweepers and other people, and the nurse, she may not be direct here, no? She is helping the doctor. In flight, you know, in flight, pilots is the main direct labor, and air hostess and ground people in the airport, ground, you know? So, all are indirectly. You have understood? Very good. And in case of, you know, expenses, first of all you have to understand what is expense. Expense means when you spend money in the production for producing something, and this money does not give you any material, does not give you any labor, the expenses. Let me give you an example. You are making a road, suppose you are making a road, and in the road you have used, you know, what are the metals you have used, you know, in the road, making the road, you are making in the flyover, cement and other things, you have used the direct material, and you have used some laborers, they are direct labor whom you can see working. But see the example, but one type of vehicle comes from this side and goes that side, it comes this side and goes this side, and in the evening that vehicle owner or the driver wants 50,000 from you. That driver you cannot say labor, and that driver has not given you anything, he has just made the road plain. Road roller, you know, road roller. So, the money you pay to the road roller is direct expenses. How? Because it is visible in the road that there was some vehicle who made the road plain. The road roller's effect is still there, So, and road roller did not give you any material, road roller did not give you any labor, you cannot say it is labor only. Of course, he worked something in the driving, you know, but not in the true sense of labor, you cannot say that. So, it is direct expenses, and there may be some other expenses in the road only. Suppose you purchased some food materials, you purchased some water, and these things you gave to the laborers or to the driver, and those things are expenses, but those things are not visible in the road today. Those things are not visible. indirect expenses. There may be some such more examples. So, expense, suppose you are wearing a particular type of shoe, someone designed, and that his designing is still visible in the shoe, that is direct expenses. And the production, company pays some money to the that designer also, because designer is very important, designer is very important in production, and that designing, when you paid the money to the designer, you cannot say his labor, you cannot say it is labor only, because it is not that sense of labor, although the designer had worked something with a pencil or maybe something with paper. And direct expenses, designer, your dress designer, direct expenses. If you have any confusion, I am ready to face after this session is over. And suppose this building, I told you, the architect, you paid money to the architect, architect did not give you any material, architect, you cannot see the labor, you paid for labor, labor is, the meaning is different. So, there is direct expenses. You can find lot of indirect expenses also. Now, you please come, can you join one thing? What is your name? Jasmine. Can you join somehow direct, somehow you can join direct, then yeah, join, and yeah, one more, yeah. Please see, I will be teaching you something here. Everybody has seen what I have done here? I have taken all direct together, right? And can you join indirect somehow? You can do one thing, use encircle, indirect, yeah. The students will be understanding very nicely, encircle, very good, and encircle. And now join from some area, you join somehow. I will telling you some practical thing here, which is actually learned through practical questions, but without giving any practical question, I want to teach you from this only, and you shall remember. See, direct material, direct labor, and direct expenses. You have understood? These three put together, aggregate of this is known as prime cost. Can you write somewhere above? Left side above. Oh, there also you can write, no? Above, more above, yeah. You write prime direct material plus direct labor plus direct expenses shortcut you can write expenses plus direct expenses, direct labor, yeah, correct, direct expenses equal to, you write prime cost. Is a very essential concept you have learned, and I will teach you mathematical part based on this formula. I have given a formula, although you find that I am teaching theoretically, and indirectly I put formula in your brain. So, you have understood that all you can put in the box prime cost, the students will understand very nicely. So, anybody ask you what is prime cost, you can tell in your own language. They say prime cost is an aggregate of direct material, direct labor, direct expenses. Who has not understood? And everybody can remember it. And indirectly, tactfully, I am teaching my mathematical part. Tactfully, I am doing. This is my way of teaching only. I do not take the problem directly. I do not take. But this way, I put in the brain, and then you will not ask me any question. You have understood. And you shall ask me now. एक काम करो, वो जो डायरेक्ट जो तुम लिखा है ना उसको रैप कर दो, नीचे में जो लिखा है वो डायरेक्ट ट्रेस जो लिखा है ना उसको फॉर नाउ दे हैव अंडरस्टूड. सो यू राइट सिमिलरली इनडायरेक्ट मैट प्लस सबको इनडायरेक्ट में लिख दो, इनडायरेक्ट प्लस मैट मटेरियल प्लस इनडायरेक्ट लेबर प्लस indirect expenses. And so, you need a definition for this also. Naturally, you need a definition. So, equal to, you write overhead, one word. Put overhead in a rectangle, and yes, very good, just one, very good. So, all of you please watch. Anybody ask you what is overhead in cost accounting, you have to know it. You listen to thousands of lectures is meaningless if you do not understand this. This is my experience I am sharing with you. This is all meaningless if you do not understand these things. These are all practical things I am teaching, and then I will be using it in practical problems. I will be using it. It is not the thing which I taught in Malaysia export, it is not that. There is a different concept. This is a different concept. Both where practical questions are there. I will give practical question when, and then I will be getting the advantage of teaching now this way, because at that time you shall not ask me any question. Yes sir, I know it, you will be saying that. So, anybody ask you what is overhead? You say, sir, overhead is the aggregate of, bolo? Overhead is the aggregate of, very good, very good. So, we have learned indirect material, indirect labor, these are overhead. Now, let us put here, I have to do lot of more things with this. Now, थोड़ा सा इसको स्टॉप कर देते हैं, ठीक है, आ जाओ इसमें. Function wise classification. Function wise classification, you shall write 3 part again, 3. Can you rub this material part below 1? We can rub it now, so that we need some space. Material classification, you rub below, yeah, because you have understood this thing. Okay, you rub कर दो, पूरा rub कर दो, हाँ, just हाँ, exactly. अभी उसको you can take good space here. In functional classification, you take good space. Okay. So, in function was classification, function, what is the function? Function means what? Just you tell me the meaning of function, what you understand by function. Everybody listen please, थोड़ा सा concentrate करो ना, अभी बात मत करो, I'll give you a chance to talk.
The operations which the firm will undergo.
Yeah, function means any work, not necessarily farm. I am teaching is a function, any activity. So, according to activity, cost is of how many types? Dear students, let me explain what is function wise classification. According to function wise classification, costs are again of 3 types. Number 1, production cost, number 2, official administration cost, and number 3, selling and distribution cost. So, production cost means that cost is a list of cost which starts from the point of procurement of say material, raw material, labor and all other things, and it goes on and goes on and production continues. At time comes when production is over and this product is put in primary packing. So, starting from the procurement of material, labor etc. up to the stage of primary packing, this list of costs put together is known as production cost. And I've already explained what is primary packing. Primary packing is the packing which is done for protecting the product. So, up to primary packing, whatever cost is there, this is production cost. And official administration cost is the cost which is incurred in administration in offices, you know. And selling and distribution cost includes those costs which are connected with selling and distribution. It may be salesman commission, it may be delivery expenses, all these things. So, these are the 3 types of cost according to function wise classification. So, let us go ahead. One more thing, I have told you about primary packing. There is another packing, you know, secondary packing. Secondary packing is meant for attracting the customers. As I have told you that primary packing is meant for protecting the product and secondary packing is meant for attracting the customers. So, primary packing is included in production cost and secondary packing is included in selling cost, selling and distribution cost you can say. So, that you have to remember there are 2 types of packing, primary packing and secondary packing. Thank you. Behavior wise classification. Here behavior, all of you understand what is behavior. Here we discuss how costs behave, how Mayank behaves, how Sar behaves, how Nandini Bhartiya behaves and how cost behaves. For behavior, according to behavior you make classification. How costs behave? You shall find that some costs remain fixed even if production goes up. Some costs vary too much even if it is small change in the production quantity. So, as some costs are there which vary and fixed and very and fixed. I will give you example. So, make it 3, better make it 3. I will give you example. 3, fixed cost, variable cost, fixed cost, variable cost, semi variable cost, or semi fixed cost, or semi fixed cost, और सेमी फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट नीचे में और सेमी फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट हो सकता ना. सपोज देयर 2 parts of the door, one is open, so one person will say one part is open, other person will say no, one part is closed. Both are correct, isn't it? Half glass of water, one say half is half full. So same thing we can say semi fixed or semi variable. So now fixed cost is that cost, no need to write you Mayank, just understand. Fixed cost is that cost which remains fixed even if production increases or decreases. Suppose rent of the factory, you write bracket factory rent, if production is more then same, if production is less, same factory rent. Suppose here more students are coming, then this room rent will be same, that is fixed. But in case of variable cost, for example, you can write material is variable cost, more production more material, less production less material, no production no material. Similarly, in fixed you can write a salary of permanent staff, in fixed you can write one salary of permanent staff, this is again fixed. You can yourself find out lot of example, I am giving the link, you can find out. Again in case of variable, can you write temporary wages, casual workers, wages for casual workers, sometimes borrow, sometimes let them go. So that is you can write casual labor, temporary laborers, clear na? These two are clear, very easy to understand. And here only I asked the question about Malaysia order, this was targeted this point, isn't it? And semi variable, let me tell you, semi variable sun lo, semi variable is also known as semi fixed. How is it? I don't know how it happens in mobile, but earlier it was your bill is 700 if you call so many calls, but even if you don't call you have to pay 300, it is fixed. You have to, now it is there, maybe landline, you have to pay a certain amount of money every month even no call is there, that is fixed. Then more call, more variable, money more expenses. So this is semi variable. Let me give you one more example. Suppose you are working, a person is a sales representative of a medical company, sales representative, that means this person gets monthly 25,000 fixed, then he sells more sale, 10% of sales, suppose more commission, less sale less commission, salesman's commission can be an example. You pay to the salesman something fixed every month, even if no sale is there you shall pay that amount fixed. Then more sale more commission, less sale less commission, an example of semi variable or semi fixed. You can get lot of example yourself also, you can find out yourself example, no need to take my help. But concept is clear, Rahul? Harshit? Yes, semi variable. So these are the cost classifications we have discussed.